Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World for episode 2 of Dalton Valley Farm, where we officially get a start. Get things up and running today, absolutely. First, a quick couple orders of business. First, I'd like to welcome Jezza Nelms, Michael Wesley, and Hellhound to the channel. Thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you're enjoying the content. Next, we are taking a venture into seasons on this one, and it's going to be interesting. I could use some tips. I could use some help. I'm not that up to date on seasons, honestly. I've played just a little bit, just enough to be dangerous. We're going to do what we can, though, to make this work. And we're definitely going to be raising animals. So I think the first order of business is to just get these water fill points set up. I just want to get that out of the way so I don't botch them. And I know, okay, we want to customize, and yeah, we'll put that right down here. We'll get it right up against the fence so it's pretty much out of the way. Let's raise it up some because we don't want to crouch down to do this every time. And then we will switch and let's get our uh-oh, that's funky. Nope, don't want to do that. There we go. That was weird. It was like I had a hand tool active at the same time. Oh, I know what's going on. Because I'm using the mouse wheel, it's messing with me. Alright, that's good enough. So let's accept that. Confirm. And I do not need that little device yet. Although I did go ahead and purchase that device. So we can't fill anything with water until obviously we have animals in there, but I want these set up and out of the way. Just one little minor order of business we're going to take care of. Okay. Let's put this one down here. Let's rotate it so it's in line with the thing. With the trough. Yeah, we'll raise that up just a little bit. Switch to the fill pipe. And we're doing that thing. There we go. Okay, I see what's happening. And I think I'm just going to make this one work right next to the valve. So we'll accept that. Yes. Okay, we are all set up for water for our animals. We're not going to be doing sheep right away. Just because I feel like we need to get some supply put into place before we bring animals in that we can't sustain. So that'll come down the road. Sheep will. But we are going to start off with some goats. However, I think our first order of business is to take a look at our fields and see where we're at. So we have field 22. We have field 20. These are the two where we will be planting crops. Field 26 we're going to leave as grass for hay. And again, that goes back to creating supply to feed the animals when they come. And field 20 is going to be our big profit crop field, or big field for raising a crop for profit, or however you want to phrase it, be my guest. So let's take a look and see what the status of those fields is. So field 20 needs to be plowed. Field 22 needs lime and only lime. It's actually got 2 fertilizer states on it already, so that's good. We'll get some lime on there, then we could get that planted up. Field 20, once we plow it, and actually, because of the 3 fertilizer states that season requires, I think we're going to fertilize this first and then plow it. So that's the plan. Fertilize and plow 20. Lime and plant 22. However, as I recall, seasons isn't just going to let us plant whatever we want whenever we want. We need to go look at the seasons menu. And we are playing 6-day seasons at the moment. I might bump that up to 3-day seasons depending on how quickly we're getting through everything, just to move stuff along. But early spring, first day, There's not much we can plant. However, we do have the right temperature to plant some lucerne, and I think that's what we're going to do in that smaller field. If we look at our crop rotation, let's go over to that field really quickly. Yeah, so previously we had oilseed, and before that was nightshade, which is potatoes. I don't know why they didn't just call it potatoes. It seems silly to introduce a new word like nightshade when what we're really talking about is potatoes, but it is what it is. So, our rotation plan for this this field, we've got potatoes planted before, then they put in sunflower. I'm going to put lucerne in so that we can have another source of hay, grass, whatever you want to call it. Actually, it's going to be lucerne hay. So we're going to take a small hit, about a 5% hit on this field because we're planting after sunflowers. But this is also going to replenish the field. So if we were to put in a cereal crop like rye next, we're going to get a nice hearty boost of 20%. So I'm happy with that. Now, our other field, field 20, if we go back into the seasons menu, we can see I've already set up, it had wheat in it, then soybeans, which means we can go straight into an oilseed crop like canola. We all know that canola pays well, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to canola. It's going to give us a 20% boost as long as we do everything we're supposed to do with that field, and we're going to. So, lucerne and canola. But we do need to go back to our crop calendar. When can we plant canola? So, if the weather holds out, we can plant canola on the 3rd day of spring. So, we'll have to wait just a little bit before we plant that, but that doesn't mean we can't get the ground ready. So that's what we're going to do. Lucerne is ready to go in the ground now, like I said, and we've already got the temperature for it. So we can, at the bare minimum, get this field planted right here. Which in turn means we're going to need some gear, obviously. You guys need to do an obviously counter. Every time Harv says obviously, there should be something going on. Because I say obvious a lot. What's obvious to me may not be obvious to you, so I should probably stop saying that. Anyway, let's take a look at what we're going to need. Now, we've got the big Fendt, and that's going to be great, but I think we need a small tractor working for us also. And I want to use something that doesn't get used a lot. In fact, I haven't seen it much anywhere. And it's going to be appropriate for Scotland. It's a McCormick MC series. If we bump up the engine, we can get up to 136 horsepower. That's a nice little tractor. I like it. I'm going to take the fenders off. And I am going to give us some wide tires to make that thing look just a little bit more beefy. I like it. I am buying it. Now, most of our equipment, because this is seasons, we're probably going to be doing mostly leasing and not owning so much. However, one thing that we will need is a lime and fertilizer spreader. This will get used frequently, so it's definitely something that we most likely want to own. I have this Bandertante, I believe is how you pronounce that, and if not, somebody correct me. But it holds 15,000 liters. It's got a 24-meter spread. It's only 13,554, and it will also double as a manure spreader if we need it to. So we are going with that, and that's going to be a direct purchase also. So let's buy that up. And let's get to work. All right. Let's grab our McCormick and get hooked up. Try not to wreck it on the first day. And let's get that map up. I want to see where I'm going. I need to go... There's a lime station right over here. So I guess I'll take the long way around. Up fast past field 18, take a right. And we'll see if we can't get this thing filled with lime. I guess I should put my beacons on. Do we have beacons? This does not have beacon. What happened to the beacons? Alright, well, we'll do 4 ways then. We'll go American style. That was awfully laggy. That's a nice clean interior. Not a whole lot going on in here, but it is nice. It's well put together. I like it. I'm very much a person that, you know, you find something that you like and then you stick with it all the time, over and over and over again. And so I'm really trying not to do that when I'm playing these maps, you know. Trying to find new equipment all the time. Give it a try at least. I've never used this lime spreader before. I've never used the McCormick tractor before. So I don't know. What do you guys do? Are you just keep sticking with the same thing over and over again, or do you like to experiment a little bit? Let me know in the comments. I am very responsive to comments, so if you're if you ever have something to say, feel free. We do also have a Discord channel. That is in the channel information below on the About tab. And you're always welcome to join Discord as well. All right. So my big goal at the moment is to get lime spread on the smaller field, fertilizer spread on the big field. Learn how to drive in the UK because I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. And then we want to get field 20 plowed. It wouldn't hurt my feelings to get lucerne in the ground today, but we'll just see how much time we have. And in fact, I do need to bump time up to 5 times speed, and I'm going to try to keep it there. Now, I don't know if I can get lime here or not. It might be an issue of having to go right back to the store. But we're going to give it a try. Oh, it's going to let me fill. Excellent. This is probably a lot more lime than we're going to need. In fact, it's hard to tell. You know how fast we can go through lime? Pretty darn quick. Yeah, I mean, if we have to store a bunch, then we have to store a bunch. That's okay. Yeah, 15,000 liters of lime for $26.99. That is a bargain. That is a bargain and a half. Okay. Now we just need to get back over to our field. And rather than torture you with my rhetoric for the next 5 minutes, I will just see you when I get over there. Alright, so we made it back to the farm. Rolling up here into field 22 right now. And we're about to find out just how good our lime spreader is. Well, it definitely spreads. Come on. Don't just spew it all out right there. We gotta move. Oh, that's pretty sweet. I like the animation. That's pretty unique. I haven't seen a double spray like that before, so that's pretty slick. I like it. I'm so busy paying attention to what the lime spreader's doing that I'm not paying attention to where I'm going. Oh, it's going to be one of those, so that's okay. That's okay. We'll get through it. If you can't tell, it's been a very long week. Started a new job that's been pretty challenging, putting in a lot of hours and still trying to get videos out for people or for you guys to enjoy. Hopefully you enjoy them. I wouldn't want to be wasting your time, although you kind of have the option to walk away if you need to, but yeah, a lot going on. Now the spread on this is odd, just a little bit odd. Like, it doesn't really show you if you're spraying over the edge. You know, the edge of the field is just cutting off the spread, so anyway, we'll sort it out. New tools. This is why we use new tools. Yeah, we're going to end up storing a lot of lime. A lot of lime, but it was cheap. I mean, really cheap. This much lime for less than 3,000. I think if we were to look at the shop, we couldn't have got it anywhere close to that price. I'm sure we couldn't have gotten it for anywhere close to that price, so I will not complain. I do like this lime spreader. It's taken some getting used to. It doesn't operate quite the way the others I have seen in the past. This actually, it's almost too good. If you know what I mean. It works too well. Probably the way the others should be working. I actually think that might be the issue. I think it might actually be operating just a little bit better than what I'm used to, and so it's been harder to get a handle on how it works, but I'm not complaining. It's doing a nice job, and it's covering this field really quickly, so now granted this is a fairly small field, but still. Okay. There's our lime. Now I've got to get fertilizer in this thing, but that means unloading it. Okay, so if you are interested in experimenting with this mod, keep in mind that it does not have unload functionality. I did not realize that when I bought it, but it appears that if you want to use this mod, you're going to have to use it for one or the other. If you've got 15,000 liters of lime, that's going to last you for the better part of 7 years. That's pretty much what you're stuck with, because I can't unload it to swap out for fertilizer. So, back to the store. I guess since they're so cheap, I'll just buy another one, and that one will be for fertilizer. See you at the store. Alright, so I'm back at the store, and we're gonna take a look at fertilizer technology again. Do I really want to risk another? This should unload, but it doesn't. There's no function for unloading, so But man, it's such a cheap option. And I liked using it. Yeah, we're just going to buy a second one for fertilizer. That's all I can do. Well, all I'm going to do. And let's get some pallets of fertilizer. There we go. Maybe. See, lime pallet. $700 for 2,400 liters. So, what? If we bought 4 of these, we'd only have about 9,000 liters, and we would have spent the same amount of money that we spent to fill that other spreader up. So, fertilizer. There we go. Let's buy 3. Nope, I'm going to buy 4. This next field that we're going to put fertilizer down on right now is a much bigger field than what we just did, so today just is not my day, I'm telling you. Now see, I could stop refilling, but if we look at any of this, there's nothing to unload. So this is now a fertilizer spreader, whether we like it or not. I guess I'd better learn to like it. Alright, 9,600 liters of fertilizer. Heading back over to field 20. And you know, I am not completely sure how to get into field 20, but we will find out. Yeah, this McCormick's a nice little tractor. I like it. I like it a lot. Should suit our needs well for smaller jobs. The one thing that it doesn't have a front loader attachment, but we will make do with something else. Probably a skid steer or telehandler. Most likely a skid steer. Does everybody in Scotland drive 15 miles an hour? Okay, so this is our field 20 here. I'm going to try up this lane and see if there's an entrance to the field. Oh yeah, here we go. Looks like we will have to roll in and then close the gate, otherwise it's going to be in our way. Probably right here. There we go. Nice big field, nice wide open field. And I told you during the map tour yesterday, it's kind of getting started, that I wanted to give Courseplay a shot. So let's see if we can't get Courseplay working on this. So we want a fertilize and seed course. I think course generation, we want field 20. Yeah, we'll start at the current position. We're going to do probably as wide as this spreads. 2 is enough, but we'll do 3. We'll go clockwise. We'll smooth the corners, and then I'll go back and fill in where needed. We don't need to skip rows. Working with this 24 meters. We're going to generate the course. Yeah, that looks like it should work out fairly well. So if we go back, I can tell this guy to start driving the course. Okay, that wasn't so tough. That's about the extent of my course play knowledge, and I really do want to expand that knowledge, so hints and tips from anyone would be very much welcome. Okay, so while this worker is working there, I'm going to go grab the Fent, head back down to the store, and we are going to pick up a Subsoiler. I don't know about you guys, but I find Subsoilers much easier to work with than plows, and they do the same job, so we are definitely going Subsoiler here. Now, as I said before, I've had this idea in my head for a while, and you know, I've opted to consider this Scotland. I had heard some other people apparently in Scotland hey, I'm wrecking my tractor here. Give me a minute. Apparently in Scotland, rolling your tractor is good fun. No, I'd heard some other people say that this area reminded them of Scotland, so I kind of took that to heart and said, well, I want to start the Harv's World Tour. I like the idea behind the map that LexR is the map maker, and LexR has said that this map is purpose built, well, not purpose built, but will be used to support Doctors Without Borders. That's a very good cause that I believe in and wanted to help support as well, at least by doing a Let's Play on this map. So that's what we're doing. I've had this aggro mulch for a while. I used it just a little bit on Pacific Northwest, but I want to try it again. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. But we are gonna lease this. We don't need to buy it. It's only $1,600 to lease. So yeah, and the Harv's World Tour, that is going to be basically how I switch maps. So we're starting in Scotland, and every time we switch maps, I want to switch to a different country without revisiting any countries. Now that could become challenging at some point. It will become challenging at some point, and will be impossible. And there are plenty of maps, you know, there are plenty of US maps, there's plenty of maps set in the UK, all fantastic maps that will be great to get to at some point. Europe in general has a lot of great maps. Europe is yes, Europe is a continent, not a nation, so we can travel to any country in Europe. That's no problem. So if we move from Scotland to Germany to England to whatever, that's fine. Just saying. But that's the idea behind the Harv's World Tour. We will be going to a different country every time around. There's great maps all over the place. Australia, France. The Polish map makers have really been pushing out the maps lately, so a Polish map would be great. Germany, Belgium, you know, it's all out there for us to take advantage of, so that's what we are doing with the World Tour. We are going to be farming around the world. Okay, so I guess we'll just start in a corner and see how this works. It's going to take a good long... Good Lord, I cannot drive today. It's been a long day. I'll stop using that excuse, but it's not really an excuse. It has been a long day. Alright, here we go. So I think the smart thing to do, because this is going to take a while, and we are at 5 times speed, I am going to do a time lapse on this, and I will see you when this field is all done. Well, that pretty much wraps up this field. Believe it or not, there's a few little spots that I missed that I just want to touch up real quick. Took the better part of the day. Make sure I'm getting that. I missed some edges. And actually, I think what I want to do is, now that we've plowed this, I can get another coat of fertilizer on. So I'm going to fire up our worker again with course play. How did we do that? Course generation. Yeah, we'll do 3 headland passes again. We'll have it regenerate the course just so the worker can start at a different place. Or start from where he or she is at right at the moment. Get out of here. And then I am going to just grab a few little spots here that still need to be done. Let's take a look at that map. Yeah, it's just the edges. I miss some edges. And I'm a meticulous fool that way. I'm pretty anal retentive about that kind of stuff, so I want to make sure I get it all. Not that one little edge would matter. I think we can shut down GPS now. This was such a large field, it took pretty much all day to plow. And I had to kick in the GPS. Once I got the headland rows done, I had to kick in the GPS. I just wanted to make sure I was using every square inch of this 6-meter subsoiler that I could, because I knew it was going to take a long time. There we go. All done. So I will run... Well, I'll lift it up out of the ground first. I'm going to run this subsoiler back down to the shop and see what they've got in the way of seeders. Although we're starting to lose daylight here, but... I don't have much to do seeding wise today. Just that small field. I wanted to get the lucerne in there. We'll see what we can come up with. See if I can not wreck the Fent. Let's see if I can avoid wrecking the Fent too many more times. These are not the big wide open roads that we had in the Pacific Northwest either. The Fent is actually probably too big to be traveling these, but at least we have good visibility. And I absolutely refuse to drive 15 miles an hour. That's just not going to happen. Sorry, Scotland. But, nope, can't do it. Okay, we've got that taken care of. Excuse me. Let's see what we can seed with. Now, that small field, I think we need to go with the smaller seeder, because trying to get anything big in there is just going to be a hassle. And I don't want... I don't need, actually, fertilizer, spreader, and seeder combination. This Kavernland actually might be a good solution. Haven't tried it before. 6 meters wide, only requires 100 horsepower. I think that's a winner. Less than $1,000 to lease. Let's go ahead and grab that. And then how about some seeds? Do we have cheaper seeds than that? 1890. I don't know. I have too many mods installed. That's right. You can tell me. Harv, you got too many stinking mods installed. Nah, that was seed back there. Okay. And to start with, I'm just going to buy the one pallet. See how far that gets us. I didn't even look to see how much seed this seeder would hold. Oh, 1,500 liters. All right. All right. Well, I had to jump out of the game, fix that little problem, come back in, and I realized that I had stopped my course play workers, so I'm just finishing up the fertilizing. Then I'm still going to try to get that field seeded in. Just need to put the McCormick away. In fact, I think I will just park it up over here for the moment. Because it's only 6 p.m. and we are already losing the light, so... if we're going to get the seeding done, we need to get it done now. I'm going to double check my seasons. We're still at 3 degrees Celsius, so we are good to go for Lucerne. Make sure I set my seeder for Lucerne. There we go. Turn it on. Let's get some lights here. Drop it down. Now this little Kavernland, this is a nice little seeder. Actually, I'm impressed by it so far. I wouldn't use it on the big field. It's just too small. But for this little field, I think it's going to do well. Right. So, in my desire to get things done before the end of the day on our first day of spring, I totally skipped a step. Actually, I was just not paying attention, I'll be honest, and I didn't realize our little cedar there did not cultivate as well. This can sometimes be a problem when you're switching from one map to the next. You've gotten used to your old equipment, and your cedars already cultivate. However, that Kavernland does not cultivate, and I should have kept that subsoiler and just taken care of that field, even though it didn't need plowing. But now I've got additional leasing costs, so I've gone and picked up a nice big fat cultivator, and we'll have to correct that now without getting killed. Okay, I can see this map in Scotland is going to be pretty close to the death of me until I get used to driving these roads. Wow. And I had to rush down to the store because on this map the store closes at 7 p.m. and I was just 15 minutes away from not being able to take care of that. So I made it in the nick of time. I made it. There, I think that will end up working much better for us. This is an 8-meter wide power harrow, and it should make quick work out of the small field so I can still get the lucerne in before the end of the day. And that's another thing too, is you start playing in a system that you're not completely used to. Like, I don't have a lot of experience with seasons, and you automatically think, oh, I've done something wrong season related. So you're trying to figure out, was it too cold? Was the ground temperature wrong? Seasons can be very finicky about when you can plant and things like that. So you are barking up the wrong tree. I'm sure many of you figured out what I'd done wrong long before I did, but what matters at this point is it's being corrected, and we will get this lucerne in the ground. Assuming the temperature doesn't drop too much before I can plant it, which I believe might be a possibility if the overnight temperature drops too low. Although, maybe that would just cause the crop to fail. Well, we're going to find out. That's the reason for playing seasons this go around, is to learn about seasons and have some fun doing it. And sometimes having fun means making mistakes, which seems kind of contradictory. Making mistakes is never a lot of fun, but I think you get the point. Okay, that's the cultivating sorted out. Let's get this thing back to the store. I'm not going to drive it over. I'm just going to go into our leasing screen and get rid of it. Oh, that's weird. I can't drop this with it folded. It has to be unfolded to drop. Okay. Get to the garage, leased items, and we will return this. Now let's see how this seeding plays out. I'll bet it does a lot better this time. You guys ever have that issue where you hit a key, for example, and I know I hit the V key to drop this seeder down, but it doesn't register the keystroke for some reason? I find that a lot, especially on the V key. Maybe my keyboard's going bad. I don't know. I don't think so, but yeah, I mean, just now when I started trying to seed and the tool hadn't dropped, I swear it was not because I forgot to hit the V key. It just didn't register. Maybe it was still in the middle of a process. Maybe I just get too quick on it. I don't know. But we are definitely planting or seeding lucerne at this point. Our first crop on our first day at Dalton Valley Farm is going in the ground. Yep, we are definitely planting now. So I'm going to continue working on this field, get it all planted up. Shouldn't take too much longer. But I think that's going to be it for today. Our first official episode of farm work on Dalton Valley Farm. Remember, Doctors Without Borders, a great nonprofit doing great work around the world. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. And until next time, take care.